and welcome. I'm Sylvia Markovic. I am a hypnotherapist, emotion set coach, and also the co founder of the OCC, the Online Coaching Congress. And the OCC is to clear the different kind of coaching types. And I'm happy with today's interview with lovely Liz Jones from UK. Hello.
Hi.
And we have a special topic with the interview, and it's about helping professionals to lose weight, get fitter, and create those healthy habits. And I love this kind of topic. And Liz Jones, you are a athlete, or you are ex-athlete. I know it.
Exactly, yeah.
And you are also the founder of Mind Body House, and you are also more a board member of My Fab. That's right.
Correct.
Did I
Yeah,
spell it right? Okay, great.
my bad, yes.
And thank you so much that you take the time for this interview, and that you want to be a part of the OCC to clear the different kind of coachings around the world, or the coaching types around the world. And let us start with yourself, with your person. Who is Liz Jones? What are you doing? Where are you came from? What is your mission?
Oh, big topic. Thank you, Zoe. Well, basically, I've been a fitness professional for over 10 years. So I've been playing sport, been involved in sport since I could walk. So it is my life, you know. So basically, years, like you said, ex athlete. So I used to be on the British team for fencing. I played hockey, you know. I was in the army, you know, all of this throughout my life. Yeah, so I see your eye trace
Whoa. Okay, don't say something wrong, Sylvia.
there. But I've obviously done that for years, and of course, developed into the professional career. I've done gym management and all this over the years, and of course decided that I actually want to go my own way and help people to really change their lives. And so of course obviously developed, you know, as a wellness coach, and then I founded Mind Body House last year to obviously bring more in terms of health and fitness to a wider range of people, so not just the personal side, but obviously the group fitness, and obviously offering different coaching as well.
Great. And your topic is to help professionals to lose weight, get fitter, and create those healthy habits. Let us start with the healthy habits. Why are healthy habits so important?
Well, our habits are what we naturally fall back on. So it's like your instinct. So if you have healthy habits and behaviors, then you'll just automatically do them. You know, you won't come conscious, and then you're always taking care of your body, your health. And of course, if you're healthy, you perform better at work, you know, you think clearer, you sleep better, your relationships improve, like communication. So it just affects your whole life. And
Yeah.
basically everyone has those habits. It's just whether they're healthy or they're unhealthy.
Yeah.
Huh.
Sometimes it's just so simple. But to create healthy habits, or to know that I need healthy habits, I also need to know that I have unhealthy habits.
Some of that isn't knowing that you have the unhealthy habits to start with. It may be a case of, for example, my clothes no longer fit. You
Yeah.
just feeling bad about something. You know, it might be a situation, it might be how you feel about yourself, it might be confidence in yourself. You know, there's something that's not right. And then you go, actually, I know I need to eat better. I know I need to be more active. What can we do? So, but what people don't realize is that's where someone like me comes in, and that's what we do. We go through what you do, what you eat, how often do you exercise, you know, what's your sleep regime, what's your preparing to sleep regime, what's your morning get up, you know, these sorts of things. So we're changing, and we change little things, and we actually restructure those habits. So the outcome is like, whoa, where did this happen? But actually, it's those behaviors that we're looking at.
Yeah, yeah, great. And to get fitter, how you deal with your clients that they get fitter?
Well, every client I work with, well, normally every client, we always do sessions together anyway, because like I said, I've been a personal trainer for over 10 years. I love coaching and training people. I've taught classes as well. So it's kind of, it's in my blood, you could say. So all my clients, part of the wellness package I personally offer involve that fitness element, because fitness is so good for your physical, your mental, and your emotional well-being. I also offer with Mind Body House is that online studio, because over the years my clients have traveled with work, they've been there, we know I've sent them off with training plans, things like this. And of course, pandemic, it's kind of like we are working out at home. So there is no reason your workout can't continue. So that's why I set that studio up, because some ways people just want that workout. So come and join us for that workout. That's what it's there for.
Yeah, yeah, that's really interesting. And you are really, really passionate about to be a wellness coach,
Yeah.
and we are here for the OCC to create the different kind of coaching. I need to say, when I hear wellness coach, I associate massages, message,
Massages.
massages. So from my bad English, I'm German. We spell it another on another way. So massage, then I see myself, yeah, on a big spa. This is what I see when I hear wellness coach. Is it so on this way, or?
That's part of it. Wellness is everything, really. You kind of go, okay, that's the physical fitness because you need to be physically fit, but that's also the physical care for your body, the massages, the treatments. I mean, I am actually a massage therapist as well, which is, yeah, which I actually qualified in four types of massage. So I know that self care, even if it's you with a foam roller, that aftercare is as important as the workout itself.
Yeah, yeah,
So when you talk about wellness, we're not talking about just staying physically fit or mentally fit. It's actually looking at the whole thing, the whole package. So every part of you, internally, physically, mentally, emotionally, is healthy and well, basically.
yeah, yeah. And I can feel how you're passionate about it, and I really love it. And what I said to you before we started with the interview, I love the way how you deal to be a coach, because you are so, no, you want it, you will change it. No, this is, yeah, what I really like, because this it's really important for people who struggle with, maybe should I, or
Yeah,
sometimes I can do it tomorrow or next week. I can do it in 2023
yeah.
also.
There'll always be tomorrow. That's the thing. People will say, I'll do it tomorrow. I need a Monday. I need this. But then Monday comes and then you get busy and then, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. You can actually just put it off. Some of that will be fear. Some of that will be uncomfortable. Some of that will be, just a case of, I don't really know what I'm doing. Whatever the reason is, if you keep putting things off, nothing happens. So even if you take action today, even if it's as simple as actually, I'm going to put a glass of water by my bed for the morning,
Mm.
behavior, one small action, but you're making the first steps. And then if you think about it, if you did say a glass of water on day one, on day two you ate a meal with rainbow coloured vegetables to eat a wide range of vegetables. On day three you went, I'm going to go for a 20-minute walk. Each day you're slowly building. And then all of a sudden you'll be like, actually, I want to do something more. Rather than going for a 20-minute walk, I'm going to go for an hour. And that's where you build these things up. So yeah, I am a take action sort of thing. People will always say I want to do it, but until are actually willing and actually going to do it, you won't do it. You'll always find yourself hiding in fear. It'll be that faraway desire that you kind of picture on a cloud, or whichever. You want to make it real, you make it happen. You set yourself a goal, you set yourself that time frame, and you give yourself that accountability, as it were.
Yeah, yeah. But it sounds for me also like a habit.
Mm.
Only just a habit what I not really want. Or is it?
It is a bit, because when you start making, say, I'll say going for a walk, we'll use that as an example. If you don't like going outside, you've built this fear of going outside because it's cold, it's wet,
Yeah.
you can basically, your habit is, I'm going to stay indoors because it's warm and dry, and you're building this mental thing. And you can put it off until tomorrow, but then what's going to change tomorrow? Oh, it's raining. Okay, you can't predict those things that you're hiding from. you know, so you can keep putting off till tomorrow, but you need to set yourself some level. Say, okay, if it rains, I'm going to do the bottom step 20 times. And although it's not quite the same, you're still taking action. So
Yeah.
you need to, obviously, yes, adaptability needs to be there, but the taking action thing is not putting off and putting off and putting off, because otherwise you cocoon yourself into a bubble.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
nothing
yeah.
is.
Yeah, that's right. I know it also from the habits, that you condition your habits with some points, like, just for an example, I have a dog in Dalmatian, and the trainer said to me, I can condition my dog that he bring me the ball,
Mhm.
and then he gets some little kind of cookie stuff or something like that. And my dog is not so my dog sounds really smart, because he found out that after a time he don't get all the time the cookies, because the trainer said, you know, don't do it every time, that he wants to do it for themselves.
Yeah,
And then he found out that he don't get it all times. Before he came to me, he let the ball down, came to my hand to smell if there's some cookie in, and then he go back. And then I said to my dog, you want to condition me that you get something? We want to stop this training now. Yeah, but this is something what people what need to realize, that every kind, that everything what we do is a kind of habit.
it is. Yeah. I mean, it's like you see these people. I say about habits being bad, like water and this, but you can be over addicted to exercise.
Yeah.
You can become so addicted and so obsessed with, say, what you eat that you're like, "Oh, let me count my calories, my macros. It's not bad." You can become so obsessed that it actually becomes, again, a habit, and it becomes a negative one.
Yeah.
It's like you forming that bad relationship with it. And it's recognizing the signs of when it's going from healthy to obsessive. And it can be a very fine sort of line. Like, I know for me, I need to exercise. I've done it for years. My body feels so much better. It is me. But I also know I need breaks at times. So actually, like, tomorrow's my day. Like this weekend, I don't train. I don't train much of the weekends. So tomorrow, to allow myself the time to actually feel okay, I go, okay, I just go for a casual walk. And
Yeah.
I'm talking snail's pace round the block, bimbling, looking at the signs, all this. But that's great. I have a nice long walk I really look forward to. And I do the same distance as I would do in half the time on another day, because I'm just enjoying it. I'm just going out and just going, I'm just going to enjoy this.
Yeah, this is great. And when you say that you take time for your body, that your body also have a day that you don't train, is it that what you mean with wellness coach? You can train, and then you take a rest day for wellness. I know that it's also important to rest for a day for the body, because the body needs yeah needs to yeah a rest day, because it's too much when you do it for 365 a day. I I think that was it. When I'm right, just you can correct me.
Well, that's the thing with wellness, because wellness is all encompassing. So, for example, tomorrow I'm not doing something physical, if I use that example, but my wellness is also my mental health and self care. So, although I'm not being physically active, I'm pushing myself physically, it doesn't mean my wellness isn't being cared for. Because that's the thing, wellness is part of our everyday lives. When we talk about kids, they're healthy, they've got everything, and all this, they've got the freedom, they've got no worries, they've got the stress. If you actually look at a child, in many ways that's wellness. That's what it is, because even when they stopped at school, they go and play. They'll eat dinner, they'll, if you teach them to do their chores and make their bed, because you teach children the behaviors that learn. But it's still, they find you teach them balance, because they'll do the work and they'll have some fun. Or you go, same as the training with the dog, if you do your homework now, you can watch TV for half an hour afterwards. It's the same training of rewards, and we use that as humans, with ourselves, with change of habits, with children, with pets. and it is exactly the same. But wellness doesn't stop. It's just you might be on a different avenue of it on one day or one time.
Yeah, 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 great. And when we talk more about your work as a wellness coach, how did you came to be a wellness coach? What was your personal journey and your professional journey to become a wellness coach?
Um, well, I probably started back in like 2013, 2014. I used to work in Cardiff, and when I was there, I they were like, okay, you need to, obviously you get a PT coach. I'm still new into my business. They're going, yeah, you need, and I was like, well, I'm a special trainer. These are the types of clients I get. This is this, and this is this. And I knew what I did, but I didn't know, and I knew who I offered it to, and I knew what I needed to do, but I couldn't quite put it together. If that makes sense. The jigsaw wasn't quite fitting, and of course, then I went up the management chain. I followed gym management, and then of course, when I left, I just went, okay, I'm going to become a PT. And I was like, oh, a PT to me is somebody who just stands there, writes a training plan, and counts sets and reps. People come to me for their mental health. They come for the chat. It's that feel good. I come in, bring the energy, and pick them up. If they need to chat, we take a seat and have a chat. I'm not going to sit there and force them to work out because that's not what they need at that time. And then, so when I left, I was like, okay, like I said, this would be like 2 years ago now. I called myself a wellness coach. And they went, no, you're a body confidence coach because, you deal with body confidence. And this is the thing with people, when you start your coaching journey, you learn. You learn about who you are, what you do, and who you help. And it's the who you help and how you help them that will really help you define it. Because if you do what you're uncomfortable with, you won't sell. You won't bond with people. People won't connect with you. You might get a client or two and get great results, but you'll be like up and down like this. You won't really know. And I'm sure you've experienced that. And then I just went back to the wellness coach and I just went, well, that's what I do. And that is what I do.
Yeah, yeah,
And, you just felt really comfortable.
yeah,
So, yeah,
great.
that's how it went back.
And now I come back to your professional to with the habits with body mind that you're founder of Body and Mind House and
My
also
body house, yeah.
and that you want to help people to get fitter and to create healthy habits. I want from you now, do you see that when people change the physical behavior in a healthy way, that their emotion change without that they do anything?
A lot of the times, yeah. I mean, there is also the emotional journey that sometimes people go on. Like, I mean, I'll give you a personal example because it's the best way. Like when I was seeing somebody a few years ago, it broke up. I just kind of went, I need to be sad. I need to cry, and I wasn't eating very well for a couple of days, and I just went, I need to let it out now because I could patch it up, go to the gym, make myself, push through. But in 2 3 weeks' time, someone will say something to me, and I'll probably burst into tears because I won't have that emotional balance.
Mm.
And so I took a couple of days of basically feeling crap, like, let's put it as it was. And then I was like, and literally within a week, I was like, break up. That was the best thing that happened to me. Seriously. Because I basically faced my emotions. And so, yeah, physical behaviors and being physically active releases endorphins. It's a feel good hormone. It's stress relief. It's, you've obviously got all the other hormones your body releases, dopamine, all these sorts of things going on, which make you feel good. You feel good about your body, it fits. But it's that awareness to go, actually, I'm feeling emotionally, I'm angry. What can I do? I'll just go and work out. And so how many times have you felt stressed and angry? You've done that workout, and next thing you know, you're like, I feel brilliant, I'm good. You're just like, yeah, that was exactly what I needed.
Yeah.
And yeah, so physical activity is key for that emotional well-being.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so too. And this is also what I recommend my clients. when you can deal with several, or there are, yeah, different kind of tools to deal with emotions. But one of the healthiest ways is really to do exercises. Of course, there's a reason why we have legs. There's a reason why we have arms. There's a reason why we can move fast and slow. And when there's no reason why we can do it. Yeah.
And that's why if you look at exercise, we look at it and go for a walk, run, cycle, yoga, weightlift. You've got things like a HIIT class. I mean, I teach PowerFit, which is obviously less dynamic, but it means more people can do it. But it's that high intensity workout. You've got core training, you've got Pilates, you've got swimming, horse riding, tennis. You've got all of these different ranges. So whatever it is, because sometimes you might go, actually, I just need that yoga. I need that Zen to bring my center. Or you might go, actually, I just need to do the hardest thing ever. Give me a HIIT class, let me push it and really sweat it out. And that's why you say with exercise, you've got your choice. You can choose what you are emotionally needing and fit to that.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, really, really nice set. And thank you for the variety to show off the variety of what kind of sports we can do. Because when I think of sports, I see all the advertising. The most advertising is about running. Yeah. And but you're absolutely right. You can run, but you can also bicycle. This is what I need to do now because I like to run. And
Yeah.
it's also good for my dog that he comes out for a longer time. But now it's snow outside. It's for me too cold. I don't like it to run outside when it's cold. And yeah, and I have a home trainer where I can bicycle, and this is what I can do at home, and it's really easy. I can read something while I'm while I'm on the bicycle. I can also hear some audio. I can see a movie, a good movie while I'm doing this. I can do a lot of stuff while I can doing this, and it's not boring. And sometimes I looking then what it's the time is over, okay, or some 5 minutes, and then okay. So
But that's the thing. I mean, I volunteer with Age UK. So it's a elderly charity. So people that are sort of, say, retired pensioners. Um, I used to do the care at home. So I had a 90-year-old gentleman and helped him with his rehab. So he never left his flat, basically. So I would go in and help him do some exercise. So since lockdown, I now do their group exercise. And I'm obviously qualified. I've taught it in person before, before coronavirus. But we do chair exercise. So these guys are obviously 70s, 80s, they're stuck at home. Some of them, maybe this is their only form of contact. I have literally a Zoom screen full and half another screen. I can't actually fit them all on one screen. They're so amazingly lovely. But I have them all here, and we're all doing stuff with a chair and a resistance band. And of course, they're like every single week they're loving it, but they're also able now to walk downstairs. They can open the jars and things that, these functional things we take for granted.
yeah,
That's what I mean. You don't need huge amount of space. You can work out with a chair and
yeah,
about half a meter each side of you,
yeah, yeah.
or meter each side of you. You
Yeah,
don't
yeah, you're absolutely right. You can do it on different kind of ways. Sometimes when I brush my teeth, I also move from
yeah.
left to right.
A wall squat is a great one for brushing your teeth. So sit against the wall, 90-90, hips and knees, brushing your teeth,
Oh,
squeeze the
great.
bum cheeks, get the bum working. Brilliant. Absolute best one.
Yeah, yeah. And I do it when I do it when I'm brushing my teeth. I know I do it when I really don't have a lot of time to do the exercise. But then I want to give my body a good feeling that I have done something. So, and this is
When I went in the army, I had to get fit. I went from doing basically the occasional workouts, like on the bike, my full face of makeup going, yeah, I'm not even going to lie about it. I wasn't exactly, I mean, I love sport, but I basically had the issue getting back in. Then the guys made me do the sports relief challenge. Well, I nearly died. I was like, what? You making me do this? And then I decided to go in the army. And of course, to get fit, you have to do press ups and sit ups. the old test used to be how many can you do in 2 minutes. So women have to do 50 sit-ups and 21 full press-ups. Yeah.
What?
Um, so of course I couldn't even do one full press-up at that point. Not even to demo it. I couldn't actually get myself. I couldn't even do one. And so what I did before I trained the muscles. So this is one thing about training, which is we make them obviously, but people think I've got to suddenly go in and do this high level.
Yeah.
But actually, it's about conditioning the muscles. So I was doing half or three-quarter press ups. First off, I was doing 3 sets of 8 on the floor, and then I'd get into bed. So every night before I went to bed, I would set myself, I'd have to do 2 or 3 sets. It ended up being 12 or 15, half or three-quarter press ups, and ab crunches. So I didn't do a full press up, and I didn't do full sit ups. I was just conditioning the right muscles. When I came from, this was from the August,
Ah.
I passed my test in the November because I had to go to a briefing, I had to pass my test. When I hit it on my test on the first week of training, this was in April, so only about 6 months from being can't even do one.
Yeah.
I did, you had to pass for 21 press ups, I did 38. So not brilliant, but, and of course you've got somebody's fists underneath you, so you have to come all the way down. So they're measured. I did 38 press ups and I did 109 or 119 sit ups in 2 minutes.
Oh my God.
And you go from doing nothing, but this is about conditioning the muscle,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. When you know about it, what you need to do, then you do it on another way. For me, the first thought was that I need to train. Yeah, that I need to make each day 500 sit-ups, that the muscles are then maybe something.
I mean, I did, like, for example, I would have like 2 leg sessions. I did a back, I had my training sessions on top. These were just what I did at home just to keep the muscles going and just to condition. And of course, initially I had to do a really low number because I couldn't do any and like jelly arms and all this. But I built up, and this is what I teach my clients. So when we do like a 12-week package, the aim to start with is build those behaviors. After that, what I teach is how are you going to progress your training? How, if you, for example, say you had a family bereavement and you took 3 weeks off and you just felt crap, and then 3 weeks you changed jobs, and next thing you know it's 2 months, what would you do to get back? How would you build yourself back? So in those last 6 weeks, it's not just about how to progress and how to build and how to move forwards and that confidence in doing so. It's also, what do I do when I've stumbled? How do I get back?
Yeah.
The aim is, after 3 months, you might want to work with me, but you don't need to.
Great. Yeah.
What I want, that's I tell my clients, I want you not to need me.
Yeah.
You want me, you don't need me.
Yeah.
So, and that's why it can take that long, because to start with, you're building the initial behaviors and then you focus on actually, it sounds really dull, but I'm sitting there going, so how many reps would you do? So what would you do then if you wanted to do this? So it becomes a bit like a school thing, but it's in grinding that knowledge so that, when they finish, it's a case of actually, I might not, I know this is the body I want. I know this is the result I want. I know I'm here on it, but I can see actually that's real. That's, because a lot of people see, for example, one I keep getting is J-Lo. She's gorgeous, right? But over the years, she's trained, she's, put on weight, she's lost weight. And if you see recently, I saw her in the last year, someone shared a photo and was like, I want to look like this. She looked amazing. She looked toned. And I went, yes, you can, but realise that will take you a long time to develop safely because she's toned and lean. If you want to do that and sustain it, put the time in. Work on the progress, see the foundations, build those foundations, and then you'll not only achieve this, you'll be able to keep this without then worrying about going on a fad diet or exercise regime. So that's the thing. People see a photo and go, oh, I want to look like that. It's like, actually, that's taken a year, 18 months of work. They're like, what? It's like, yeah, seriously. So that's why with fitness and a healthy body, you can get great results in 6 weeks, which there's nothing wrong with that. But what you do after is, a lot of times I meet people that go on these boot camps, they do a 6 or 8 week boot camp, and then they go, I go to the gym, I do my little bit, and and then slowly fall off this sliding scale. When they feel me, you're not going on the sliding scale, you've got the tools. If not, pop me a question, I'll answer it. I never get off any of my ex-clients. I'm always, in fact, I'm friends with most of them in some form or connected with them all. So it's great.
You said now something really, really important is the first thing that you deal with your clients 3 months, and then you don't need me. You can have me, but you don't need me anymore. This is really, really important for the people that they know it, that they when they contact you, that they don't need to think about, oh no, I need to have this for the rest of my life, that I can have it, and that I can deal with my healthy habits. It's really interesting that you say that with 3 months you have a good, a healthy foundation, and then you have the habit, and you have changed the habit. And you said it also that that you change the habit in small steps. And you also said that it is important that the habit change in small steps, that it's not a large list. Yeah. And it brings me to New Year's Eve. We had it 3 weeks ago. Yeah, yeah, I think it was 3 weeks ago. And a lot of people start on Christmas Eve to say, oh yeah, now this year I want to change my whole life. Do you think that this is the right way to no, I don't need to say the sentence. No.
You don't need to finish that sentence. Literally, I mean, I don't set resolutions anymore. It's as simple as that. Because a resolution is saying, I'm going to commit to doing this. It doesn't set you, as you can probably hear the do it now sort of tone coming out, it does not set you how you're going to do it and what's going to be done and what that means to you, or then what are you going to do afterwards. It's like, for example, you might go, I'm going to lose weight and fit that dress I've had in the wardrobe. You might do it, but then what? That's where they don't work. Or people get to them and they'll set, for example, I'm going to we'll stay with the lose weight one. I'm going to fit that dress. They start off, they go, I know I need to exercise, I eat well and not drink alcohol. I'm doing dry January. I'm like, why? January is depressing enough. And but then what happens as February hits? They straightway go back straight drinking. Then they start on this exercise regime, they join a gym, and then they kind of don't enjoy it, so they kind of don't stick with it. They go twice and they're done. It's they take on this thing. It's like eating a piece of cake. If you eat a cake as a whole and try and put it in your mouth as a whole, it's not going to work. You eat it bit by bit.
I love eating cakes.
I love cake. Let's put the whole cake in. Anyone who knows me, here's my weakness, guys, is carrot cake. So this is why I refer to cake a lot. But it's a great analogy. If you look at a whole cake, if you sit there and went, I'm going to eat it all, you get it everywhere. It's not going to happen. If you go, I'm going to have a bite, and you take the bite, then slowly you've had the whole cake. And that's what we do with habits. Is a case of, when people say resolutions, they set this big thing. And actually, if you set yourself goals and go, actually, this year I would like to achieve 1, 2, 3. What's the most important to me? Okay, how am I going to do that? And then you set these mini goals. This is what I say about bite size and small steps. And you set those mini goals. So every time you hit New Year, it's not about being somebody new. It's about being the best you. And that's the message that needs to be out there. Is actually this year, I'm just going to keep being the best me possible. I'm going to keep being kind. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be caring. I'm going to express gratitude. I'm going to keep being the best me that's possible. And then that way, I've lived my best life.
I love it. And now I come to the next question, sorry. And I asked you before, or it was in the beginning from the interview. Do you think that when you change your physical, that you get your physical in a healthy way, that it influence also your emotions? I will ask you the same questions about your thoughts when you change your physical, your physical habits in a healthy way. Do you think that it influences your thoughts in a healthy way, or also in a better way?
Well, look, let's look at, well, this is the thing. There's three elements. So there's the mental, the emotional, and the physical. If you take one element, it is connected to the other two in some way or form. Okay? You may have a strong connection. You may, for example, find you're emotionally stressed. So emotional stress is mental well-being. So what's the action? I'm going to exercise. It's a physical action. So that's the thing. You can't, when it comes down, you can't just say, oh, it's just this, because it will be connected to something else. Or there will be, like we show a lot of physical symptoms for mental well-being conditions. I say well-being because if we say mental health, it's got this sort of huge stigma that there's this massive illness. Yeah, everyone's stressed, anxiety. We've all been under a level of it at some point in the last 12 months. And if you say, okay, it's not one, it's the other, it's not. Everything connects.
Yeah, and this is the reason why I asked you the question, because the people think that they can deal only with the thoughts, only with the emotions, only with the body, but it's all connected. It's everything connected. Yeah, and this is yeah, a great answer from you. Thanks for that. So, and now we come to the part of OCC. We want to clear the different kind of coaching types. I have a question for you. What is your point of view? Why do you believe we have so a variety of different kind of coaching types around the world?
Kind of needed. Yeah, it puts us all in jobs. No, I'm joking. Well, if you look at us, every person is individual and every need is individual. So if you look at, for example, I'll use the example of a business coach. I mean, I like my example because it gives you with the image. But if you say a business coach, you go, okay, I'm a manager in business wanting to excel in my team. So actually, you want a different business coach to a coach who wants to build a business.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. We've got so many different fields now. So you've got fields of expertise. The likelihood is we're experts. We're not gurus who know everything. We're experts in our field. And that's what people forget. And that's why we have so many coaches, because we're just experts in that one field. So it means that if that's the field you need it in, you're going to get great results. And that's the area. It will impact, as you know, your emotional code. Affect everything else. It affects your business, it affects your relationships, it affects, like I know with what I do, it affects everything. But you're focusing on the element that you need the most support with.
Yeah, that's right. But you say we are experts in our fields, but sometimes also come or ask people. I mean, when the people come to me and they see I'm an emotions ed coach, they think I'm also an NXC coach. Is it right? Yeah.
Okay.
And this is where I need to say, no, there's my coaching. Here I come to my coaching limits, because I would say, please go to a professional therapist who has the habits also, or certification as a coach, who's both, or go to a therapist and I can be your emotions ed coach too. This is something different. But I need to say to some people, here I'm on my limit, on my coaching limit. And what is your coaching limit?
Well, I actually had, I love my stories. I did have a client, obviously I've told you this before, about who had, she actually had a borderline personality disorder.
Yeah.
So those who don't know, borderline personality is emotional disorder. So it's, the responses are fear of rejection, very, very flippant. Like at a second, one day can be thing, and literally just, kind of very dark place as well, can be. So when she met me, she was actually wanting to become a personal trainer and change her life around. So I offered a bit of guidance and said, here you go and do this. Just being a supporting person. That's all I was doing, is offering her support after doing it for years. And she then obviously said to me, we left a message. She came back and said, I need a life coach, and I can see you got a certificate. You're a certified life coach. And I said, yeah. I can do generic life coaching as well. I am certified, but this is my area of expertise. And she said, okay. This is what I want. And I turned around to her and said, okay, this is what I'll tell anybody and say, this is what I do. This is what I can offer you. If you want help with this area, these are the sort of persons you need to speak to.
Yeah.
So the reason I ended up working with her was because she had actually gone through NHS counselling. Okay. So
Yeah.
she'd already gone through the support system. She was actually at the point of calling Samaritans and suicidal. She was also obviously reaching out for help with her conditions. She needed something in her life to bring her joy and happiness, and she needed a friend, you know.
Mm.
So I actually worked with her on a pro bono basis pretty much because I just wanted to help her. I just wanted to be there for her. So I actually ended up 3 months working with her. And there were times where she would reject me. There were times she would shout at me. There were times, whichever. But we looked at the things she was well at, that she did well, the things that brought her happiness. And obviously I did my own sort of understanding and actually could see the creativity with sort of those sort of things. This borderline, having dyslexia myself, I do understand that creativity is very key when you've got some sort of, slight, I say imbalance, shall we say. And the one thing that I did with her, which is why I think she wanted to form this relationship, was I said, I removed the stigma. I said, I'm not going to make it go away. I'm just going to help you manage your day-to-day life. Let's look at your problems and manage your lifestyle. Let's look at improving the things that you can do. So 3 months of working together, she ended up with a permanent job, more money coming in than she'd ever had.
Yeah.
Moved flat. She moved to the downstairs flat and had hers being rented out.
Yeah.
And now, this was like 2 years ago we worked together, just over. But now she's set up her own business again. So she's been self-employed. She's doing furniture restoration and selling unique bespoke furniture, which is amazing.
Oh, great.
And it's absolutely phenomenal. She's so talented.
Yeah.
But she needed that belief in herself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if anyone approached me, I wouldn't recommend anybody just going, oh, okay, you've got this, I'm going to take anybody because I want a client. So that's not what I'm saying with this. What I'm saying is I checked to say, have you got the right help? Have you had that mental well-being care? Obviously she had. She'd been given the tools. What she needed was that sort of guidance and that support to actually believe in herself and believe that she was good enough. And she even said, if I hadn't worked with you, I don't know how I would survive coronavirus. Like I say, she sat home, she's built a business and she's managed to flourish. When she lost her job, because it did happen. When she lost her job, she said, actually, that would have thrown me over the edge before. And it didn't. Because she had those behaviours put in. But what I went through with her was what she'd done in her counselling.
Mm.
I didn't take on somebody who hadn't gone through that specialist. So if you get somebody who has severe anxiety, work with them on what they need. Give them the guidance to the person who can give you that specialist care. Particularly if it's like mental well-being. Like if I got someone who's just emotionally all out, I'm going to send them to you. But that's why, as a coach, you build those relationships with other coaches. I know so many professionals who work in chiropractic and all this, because if people come to me and go, I want a sports massage, I go, actually, this is what you need, and I refer you on to that person. So yeah, I mean, spot on. There are limits of coaching. There's only so much you can offer somebody. Don't take somebody just for the sake of a business, a client. That's, you think about it. What you're doing is helping somebody. Your end goal is to help somebody. Your best help for them is to get them the right person for what they need. So have that conversation if you need to. Find out what they need and get them that person or pack itself. So long story. I'm sorry about that.
No, everything is fine. I like to hear how you deal with your experience, because it shows that that you're really an expert and that you know where are your limits, and that you reflect not only yourself, that you also reflect your work with your clients. This is really important. It's really, really important. And you said now, um, don't get just a client that you have that you have a client. Do you think that there are some coaches outside there? They just take clients just
Yeah.
for
I mean,
clients?
having worked in fitness for years, obviously I've seen personal trainers who have just, this is why it gets quite scary out there, because you can say, oh, you haven't got a coaching certificate, you haven't got this. It's like, actually, I do. I've got some, but I've got fitness, but I've got so many years of fitness qualification. I've upskilled myself over the years, and I continue to upskill myself. But you see trainers who do an online or distance learning will pass it because they can learn enough and make their way through, the physical, and then go out there with no experience. And you just watch them, and you're just like, and they'll take clients. And then what happens is either that person won't get results, or they get injured, or they just won't form that relationship. That person then, the client, then gets put off
Mm.
and goes, well, this is my experience. And it becomes like the sour taste in your mouth. It's sort of like they actually go, and it kind of reinforces that negative thoughts and those negative, well, I can't have that.
Yeah.
That's not for me. It doesn't exist.
Mm.
Um, and I think, sadly, I think coaching is no different to the general fitness world. That there are coaches out there who are just keen to, maybe they're keen to either help people, they may be keen just to have a coaching business, that's what they want to do. However, they're either selling the wrong package, they're either picking and dropping in people, and people are just going, I mean, I did it once. Someone designed me a logo. I paid them to go away in the end because they weren't doing what I wanted. I had a week's worth of conversations back and forth, and I just went, I can do better myself. So
Yeah.
my mind body logo, I actually paid him. So I kind of went, I feel sorry for you. You're a guy in India. I've got you through, freelancer. I feel sorry. I don't, I'm not, you put time into this, and I respected his time. So I went, I'm going to pay you, but I'm not using your logo. And it was that sort of, I mean, I didn't say that to him, but I didn't want to obviously offend, but I was like, well, I'm respecting your time. That's why I'm paying you. I respect what you've done. It's just not what I want. And that's the problem with coaching, is if you get somebody who gets that, they could potentially, go down that negative side. That mental well-being could be suffering. They could end up calling the Samaritans or Mind or, help.
Yeah. Yeah. The connection was for a short time, for a second was connection.
Yeah,
Live there.
I'm here. I'm here.
And I don't know why I have doing this, but when I look on this side, you are always, I can look here and here and here. You will be on the same page. Just, yeah.
Front of a camera.
Just a camera. So Liz, really, really great. Just let me see, do we have some special questions what we did not talk about? You talked about how you proceed with your in your coaching with your clients, what is really, really nice to know. Also by from the beginning till to the end. These are from my side really important information, because the people don't know. They only see what happened there inside. Yeah, when I buy it, the packet, what is there inside?
Yeah.
And yeah, you explained it really, really well. So, is there anything else you would like to give our viewers a valuable contribution? Contribution? Oh, no.
Contribution.
I'm sorry.
Contribution.
Contribution. I will add it next year. Give me a year. Give me a year. But we are not finished with this answer. Just
Well, the best. Obviously, I'm all about health and well-being, because that's, as you can probably tell, I'm always about health. The one advice I can give is those small steps now are much easier than actually trying to repair later. So I think that I shared that saying on Mind Body House a couple of weeks back. It's care for your well-being now rather than have to care for your illness later.
yeah.
It's much easier to care for it than to try and recover it. You may never recover it.
Yeah, that's really important. Yeah, that's really right. And you it's not, yeah, it's a lot of people say, and I know a lot of coaches also say this, it's better to deal with your health than to become ill, and then it takes much more longer, because you have also to deal with the mental and emotional health at the same time, because you are physical ill. And yeah, that's really really important. Hey Liz, what advice would you give to your 17-year-old self today? I
Well,
love this question.
my 17-year-old self was a little bit of a off the rails, shall we say? Um, and the reason, obviously, I explained to you before we jumped on was, as a teenager, I fenced for Great Britain. I went to World Championships. I qualified for the Olympics, and then obviously that's all I'd done all my life. So of course I hit the age of 17, and I was kind of, I say, I was a bit lost without my thing. Like we all say, everyone has a thing. They like to read, they like to. Sport and exercise is my thing. And what happened when I was 17 is I obviously moved out. Um, and of course, didn't have my thing, was trying to find my sort of way and figure out what things were, but without actually having a clue.
Mm,
So if I would tell my 17-year-old self, was actually go and find your thing, get that one thing that you're passionate about, and actually follow it. I've always loved sport. That's why I work in fitness now, health and fitness. You know, follow your passion, because that will keep you going when days are hard.
yeah, yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, thank you, 17-year-old Liz.
If you're me.
Oh, as a coach, do you use your own tips for yourself?
Yes, I live my tips.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I say, I'm active all the time. I eat generally very well, and the biggest one that's probably is that sort of, I'm a comfort eater, like everybody else. Here's my weakness: if I'm feeling a bit, I can either go off food or I just want to eat food. Okay, um, and but it's that sort of acknowledgement and sort of acceptance that it's okay. If I want a pizza tonight, I eat a pizza. It's okay. If I had a bar of chocolate, it's okay. I'm just not going to stuff myself, because if you obviously eat one and two and three, that's when you have a problem. If you, for example, start a healthy regime, you have a bar of chocolate today and you go, oh, it's all screwed, I've had a bar of chocolate, and you then have that negative, and then you start
Yeah,
that downward slide. It's actually the biggest one that I probably use is actually, it's okay. Some days I need to. Some days it's my time of the month and I fancy that. That's what I really want to eat. So it's not, it's basically to be kind to yourself. Actually, that's okay to do. It's okay to have a day where I get up and I stay in my pajamas for an hour or two, not get straight up. That kind of, that acceptance. But also tell yourself. Don't just think, oh, it's all right. Actually tell yourself, actually, that's okay. Tomorrow I'm going to do that, and set that intention to do. So be very clear on those intentions.
yeah, 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 absolutely right. Yeah. I said to you that I sometimes punish myself because I have a really high ideal of myself, how I want to be.
Yeah.
And when I eat something, what I know, oh, I know I want to eat this kind of cake, this little kind of this little kind of cake. Um, and yeah, and I know that it popped up in my thoughts. So why did you have to do it? Now you came so far. You have done this, and I need to deal then with my emotional habits to say myself on an emotional and mental way that it's absolutely okay to do it, and I can enjoy it, and that's also very, very good to know. I can enjoy it now because I have done so a lot of things, and now it's the time to enjoy what I have done. Yeah. And it's right, you I don't need to eat this kind of this little cake here,
Yeah.
but it's some. enough to have a little bit.
Yeah.
Just for the taste.
It's about balance.
Just for the taste. The little one, the little kind of cake, just for the taste.
It's all about balance. Your body needs, like, it needs sugar. It needs, but only a little. It needs
Yeah.
a bit of thing. Like, you need sometimes to just let your hair down and just, do something fun. That's why you need holidays to take time off work and balance. So it's all about balance.
Yeah.
So,
You posted yesterday on LinkedIn. Great post.
yeah, my post for
All
tomorrow.
about balance. Yeah.
It's to say the theme is going on for tomorrow as well. So yes, it's
Great. Liz, we came to the end, and I think we had an hour.
woo.
But we talked about a lot of important informations about healthy, emotionally, and physically well-being. We know now what you are doing as a wellness coach and what wellness coaching means. And we are also know that you eat sometimes a carrot cake.
Just
Just a little, just for the taste. And yeah, and we also know where are your limits as in your coaching topics, but that you are one of the greatest coach we have here on earth, because you are dealing with action.
Thank you. Gotta take action.
This is for you. Liz, thank you so much for this great interview and for all the great informations. I enjoyed it to talk with you. And that was it. I hope you enjoyed the interview and you got a lot of information about your emotional, mental, and your physical well-being. And when you want to contact Liz, just you can do it, Liz Jones on LinkedIn. You can do it on her website. You will find it under this video and all the other contact informations. And when you want a good coach who take you in action, book Liz Jones. Thank you, Liz.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.